All right, we are live. So the countdown is officially on. So this Saturday, August the 16th, Alex Hermosi is dropping what I believe is probably the biggest educational event we've ever seen, literally. So we're talking about something so massive that they're saying that this would take 6+ Madison Square Gardens to at full capacity to hold everyone that they're expecting. So, and if you went to the $100 million leads event the last time he did his book launch, then you know that this is probably going to be the case. So I personally don't think that this is just going to be your average book launch. I think it's going to be something connected to Skool. I might be wrong, but I think there's something brewing behind the scenes that will completely reshape how we think about communities moving forward. And today we're going to be deep diving on what that all means for communities, community builders, and why this launch might be the catalyst for the next evolution of online communities. So, what's up, Jeff? How are you?
Doing great, brother, man. Excited. It's a few days away now, and I can say I'm excited about it. Like I've been kind of anticipating it, getting ready. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to just seeing what he's going to do next. I mean, it's almost like a spectacle itself from a marketing standpoint, like
Mhm.
analyzing what he's doing to like learn
Yeah.
from it. On top of I can't wait to see what he actually does.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of feels like the Super Bowl or something
It
of
does, yeah,
marketing nerds.
yeah, exactly.
Um, yeah. So, one of the things that I'm super excited about, because, I'm an affiliate, we're an affiliate, I purchased the extra books. And one of the things he's doing is giving, after he's all done, he's going to be releasing a course that is basically teaching his launch process. So that's super cool. I really want to kind of dig into like how he does these big launches, because that's just a valuable skill to have to really build up anticipation and get so many people excited that they can fill a whole 6 Madison Square Gardens. I mean, that's a
Crazy.
skill in itself. So
Yeah.
pretty excited about that. So our typical agenda here, just talking about Go High Level and Skool community updates. This week for Skool, they announced Apple Pay and Google Pay, which should increase the conversions on your paid communities because it's just easier to kind of check out, which is pretty cool. I wasn't super excited about it. Anything? What about you, Jeff?
Well, the thing I like about it myself, and the reason I'm kind of excited about it is because I feel like the majority of people are doing school or doing community like on their mobile. And because it's so much mobile based, and from the very beginning, their app has been great and everything else. So I think that they're just trying to streamline that payment process. So I think it's kind of like a cool way to do it because it's a click now, opposed to
Mm-hmm.
having to like pull out a credit card, type it all in, that type of thing. So I think it's actually going to be, a nice release, like update and a speed thing, really. So I'm kind of excited about it. I use Apple Pay, pretty consistently. So for me, I know that this would make it more convenient for myself. So I
Mm-hmm.
like the concept of it for sure.
Yeah. So, and I know some countries don't necessarily have access to easy access to like credit cards and stuff like that. So it does make it easier for those countries to kind of check out. The big GHL update, I know you mentioned some things on the release radar, but I wasn't honestly too excited about them. I don't even think they're really new. I think they just wanted to put something out. But I did watch a video, and I don't know if this is a feature that's already been around and they just did a video on it, but they kind of beat Skool to the punch as far as like subscriptions for courses. So they have the feature already inside of Skool or Go High Level classrooms where you can add a course and then you can charge either a monthly or annual subscription to that course. So they kind of beat Skool to the punch on that. I know that's probably coming very soon. I think it's probably around the same time that Hermosi's launch is happening. I actually thought it was going to be this week, but I was wrong. So, any thoughts on those updates?
Yeah, well, no, I agree. I think that's kind of to me trying to read between the lines and with some of the excitement that Sam has been saying about. Oh, and Alex loves this. I feel like I don't know if it's going to be a part of the actual launch itself or if it'll
Mm-hmm.
be next week. Maybe next Tuesday it'll be launched. But I will say, to the credit of High Level, I mean, I do conceptually like the idea of subscription courses, because I think that for a lot of people, being able to have a monthly recurring revenue at different levels is really kind of cool. That was probably one of the early drawbacks of Skool, is that some people were concerned about having multiple, communities and that type
Mm-hmm.
of thing. So I like that. And then selfishly, I love the idea of doing like a weekly payment structure. So I've seen a couple really top coaches out there doing kind of a weekly pay, and
Mhm.
I'm assuming you can do that, pretty easy with high level opposed to School. So
I
maybe
don't
they're getting back in the game, man. Maybe they're trying to catch up a little bit more. I don't know. It's hard to
Well, I
tell
did get
sometimes.
a email from the director of product at Go High Level Communities and Go Collab asking if I would like to collaborate on helping them improve the product. He said he watched one of our videos and it spoke to him. So I responded to him. Hopefully we'll hear back from that and we'll get a little bit more involved in like helping them create a better product. Like I've said in the past, I love Skool, but I also love Go High Level. I want them to win. So, if we can help them make the community better, I think that's great. So what's coming up in the 10K community boot camp for you guys that don't know? Inside of our Community Builders Elite, which is our paid community, we're actually running an 8-week boot camp where we're helping people launch their communities as fast as possible, set up AI powered traffic systems, both organic and paid traffic systems, and then also run one-to-many conversion events. And so these past few weeks have been focused on that launch process, so getting the community launch as quickly as possible. And then next week we're getting into the fun stuff. So we're going to be talking about getting into traffic, and we're talking about. Let me share my screen over here, Jeff. So we're talking about the organic traffic systems, and so first of all we're going to be kind of teaching the strategy of the YouTube first content creation strategy. So we believe that you should focus on a long form piece of content. We also believe that YouTube is the best long form content channel out there. And if you look at all the Skool Games winners, I would say 90% of those people have huge YouTube following, and that's why they're crushing it, right? So if we can help our members build up their audience on YouTube, their subscribers, their viewers, then we think that's beneficial and it can drive a lot of traffic. So that's kind of where we're focusing on first. And we have a whole process and AI tools that help people come up with ideas, expand on those ideas, write the scripts, and then repurpose that YouTube content into other forms of pieces of content to distribute that in more places so they can consistently create more content. They can drive a lot more traffic to their communities so they can grow it and monetize it a lot easier. So we've actually going to help them to build out these different Claude projects in their own systems so that they can write YouTube scripts really easily. They can come up with ideas. We're also going to have some different ones for repurposing that content into short form, emails, all kinds of different things. So pretty excited about that next week. Let me go back to you there, Jeff. So that's what's coming on next week. As far as the 10K community blueprint, camp or the 10K community boot camp. So I think a lot of people are going to be excited about that and really starting to drive traffic. So any thoughts on that, Jeff?
Well, I mean, I love the idea of, building a business out of profits opposed to out of your pocket, right? So
Mhm.
the beauty of organic is you can exchange some time for the opportunity to generate some revenue. We have a tendency, we have some awesome community members, obviously in our lead program, and some of them are a little bit on the newer side and they don't necessarily have a big budget, or the biggest thing we've seen is people are a bit afraid of paid traffic. Now, the good news for us, we're going to show them some really cool paid strategies that are super
Mhm.
affordable. But I think the idea of starting with organic, finding something that works is good. And we've had such amazing feedback from the process of the boot camp, step by step. And so I love the fact that everyone's engaging. People are already having big wins every week. And I think that as they start to see, their following grow and their YouTube get launched, I just see some excitement happening. And, I'm stoked for it. I mean, I love seeing our people win, and we're just seeing consistent wins every week. So
Yeah.
I think this week will be even bigger when they start, doing their launches, doing their YouTube channels and things like that. So exciting stuff every week.
Yep, exactly. So, all right. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about Alex Hermosi's $100 million money models launch this weekend. So when and where? So this is happening Saturday, August 16th at 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific time. It's a virtual event on YouTube. And if you experience the $100 million leads launch, then you do not want to miss this. It was absolutely insane. Jeff, do you remember kind of where you were and what you were doing
I,
when you watched this?
Yeah, I was so stoked, and like the anticipation was he's building up for the price, like, and you're getting this. He's doing
Oh
like
yeah.
kind of that traditional perfect webinar deal, right? And all of a sudden he's like, and you're not gonna pay this, and you're not gonna pay this. And at the end, when he's like, in fact, I'm giving it away for free, like that whole moment was
Oh
so
yeah.
incredible. But yeah, no, I loved it, man. Again, I from an outsider looking in, watching it, it's almost like watching like a spectacle, like in a good way, like you said, almost like a Super Bowl. So I'm stoked for it, man. I actually got I don't know if you got one, but I got a little letter in the mail from Alex
I'm
making sure I attend, so
yeah.
and I'm like, dude, I'm gonna be there. Like I've got your emails, like I already bought the book. Like we did the bigger book purchase. So like yeah, man, I'm ready.
Yeah,
So
and it's supposed to be even bigger this time. So I remember when he announced like it was going to be free, the whole Zoom chat just blew up. And I've never seen anything like that. I mean, you're basically he's in the middle sitting there presenting and then you've got, I don't know, 20,000 people on Zooms on like the screens around him. It was just really cool and it was like the master class of a webinar presentation or like a just a perfect execution of the perfect webinar. So I'm really excited to see what he does this time. I know he's got 5 mystery guests that are going to be headliners that use the money models in different industries. I have no clue what these people could be. I'm going to share my screen and kind of show you what the email looks like and see if you guys have any ideas. So, first of all, it says imagine sitting in the same room with a service business owner so massive their money model defined an industry. Any ideas on what you think that one might be, Jeff?
I have no idea, man, on that
I
one.
don't either. What about a professional service titan who scaled not one, but $2 billion companies by having better money models than his competition? Any ideas?
I
Professional.
mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to think like, Wayne, who's in Inga, the guy that owns the Dolphins and are owned it all. But I think he owned Waste Management. Like, but again, I'm just totally off the cuff here guessing. I have no clue, man.
Or a software entrepreneur who was able to beat VC backed competitors by outspending them because he had a better money model.
Well, now that one sounds like Russell. I mean, I will say that sounds a
Uh,
bit like Russell Brunson, just because he's been very big on the idea that they're not going to do VC money and that kind of stuff,
yeah,
and obviously it's a $1 billion company. So, but then
right.
again, I think that Sam might be in the same boat. I mean, I think that School's
Yeah,
value
that's just the
over.
only thing about Sam is like I don't know if he wants to be the spotlight of like being on some big
Yeah.
stage, but I might be wrong. I mean, who knows? But it's pretty exciting just to kind of play around with the ideas and fantasize about who it might be. But yeah, so the other thing that they're saying is this is going to be 6+ Madison Square Gardens is how many people you could fit into that. I don't know how big Madison Square Garden is, like 40,000, 50,000, something like
I
that.
have no idea. I was thinking somewhere around 20, but it could be bigger. I really don't know.
Yeah, I think it's like 40 at least.
Wow,
So
that's
that's
crazy,
like what 240,000 people. That's
unbelievable.
that's pretty epic. So where are you planning on watching it this weekend?
So, probably from here, right here from I call my office the lab. So I'll be right here in the lab. I think I actually have a sales call or two that day
Hmm.
for us. Helping people, obviously get their communities up and going. So, I'll probably be here. I'm assuming you'll be there at the house as well, or are you gonna? What
Actually,
do you
I'm
think?
going to visit my parents, so I got to definitely
Oh,
remember because I want that whatever the secret giveaway that they're getting. It's
yeah.
supposed to be small or better than an NFT, but smaller than a Bitcoin. I don't know what the hell that means,
Yeah, I
but
know that. Yeah, it actually has that in the letter. It speaks
yeah,
about that.
yeah.
It's
And we
his
said it
fourth.
multiple times
Yeah,
too. So,
his fourth.
so
Deal. So yeah.
again, just dropping those little hints that drive you crazy.
It is, man, and it's almost like he's opening up these NLP loops with you, right? He's just open up these loops, and then
Hmm.
like you have to know what they are. So, and the reality was, I mean, he's obviously a master at what he does, but I'm also looking forward to just because excited about reading the book. I mean, I thought his first 2 books were
Yeah,
fabulous. I mean, it's really really good. The one thing that I'm interested on is I know they've been speaking about the live streaming coming to Skool, so I didn't know if there might be a part of that announcement as well.
I don't know. I don't know. So he's talking about this major giveaway. I mean, the big giveaway from last time was the $100 million leads course, I think, because basically that was the build up that he kept on like, building up the anticipation until he basically said it was going to be free. And so that was like the $100 million leads course, which was essentially just a video training version of the book. So I don't know. I know that he is releasing his big launch course. I mean, we already know that. So I'm assuming it's something way different from that. Maybe it's just some kind of like collectible or something from this. Yeah, I don't
I
know.
don't know, man.
It'd
I
be
don't know.
cool.
The good news is we're only a couple days away, so
So the this one feels a lot bigger, not just from like the book launches perspective. I can't believe that they would pass up on this opportunity to actually tie it to Skool in some way. And just the fact that Sam Evans has been like teasing, well, Alex loves this new subscription model in the courses. So, I think they would do a disservice to themselves if they didn't connect it in some way to Skool and communities and stuff like that.
yeah, I just don't know how they're going to do it, but I would imagine that they've got to do something like that. I mean, I would say, and I say this in a positive sense, like, Alex seems very calculated in what he does. He's very
Mhm.
planned out. He's very strategic. Obviously, brilliant marketing. Even Sam is, obviously just coming up with the concept of Skool and always striving to make it better and better. I mean,
Mhm.
every time I just feel like they're constantly wanting to push this to become like the best platform of all platforms, and that's part of the reason why I'm hoping high level continues to compete, because I always feel like in any kind of industry, when you have two kind of titans that are kind of going back and forth with each other, it almost pushes them to even be better, right? So the better high level gets, the harder Skool might push, and the better Skool keeps getting, maybe high level is going to push back, and I think there's some healthy competition with that. So I think we as consumers and users of these platforms, we win when these guys are constantly pushing, these amazing new features and kind of the next level. I mean, it just blows me away right now, like what you can get for $9
Yeah.
if you're on the hobby plan, and even for $100, it's crazy. So they're making it affordable for everybody, which is great.
Yeah. High level's got a long way to go before it can be that Titan that you're talking about there. I
Yeah,
think Circle is probably in a better position right now.
that's
But
true.
so yeah, so the thing that I'm thinking is, so the last time when Alex Hermosi announced, and why people that are on Skool and really I guess communities in general should be paying attention to this, is because the last time that when Hormozi announced that he made the biggest investment in his life in Skool, then Skool took a huge like uplift. A lot of people that were talking about Skool on YouTube and creating content around Skool, they saw a big shot up in like their subscribers, their views, and a lot of those guys, that's what kind of catapulted them into like winning the Skool games and things. So I think that if they do, I think everybody should watch this closely. Do I know for sure that they're going to tie it to Skool? No. But if they do, then it's a huge opportunity to jump in and ride the wave, I guess you would say. So,
Yeah, totally
any,
agree.
any
Absolutely.
last thoughts?
No, man, just excited for it. Can't wait to see what happens. Obviously, I mean, I know we pretty much text every day, but I'll make sure that I remind you there, because I know you have
Yeah,
the
please do.
family.
I
Obviously,
mean, I'm not going to forget
yeah,
because
I mean, you
trust
have an amazing family. I know sometimes you're in that and doing family stuff, but I'll make sure that we both are on, because I'm sure as soon as it's over, or even during, I think last time I think we were even texting it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, it's good stuff, man. I can't wait for it.
Yep. Cool. Well, hopefully we'll see some of you guys in the chat on Zoom, and thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
See you guys.